You ever sit there, alone, lights off, world dead silent, and wonder, how the hell did it get this way? How you went from being everything to someone to being a ghost they barely flinch at when they walk by. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's a special kind of betrayal, ain't it? Not the loud kind, not the one that punches you straight in the face. No, it's the slow kind, the one that hugs you first, then stabs you when your guard's down. They smiled at you, laughed with you, maybe even cried with you. And the second you weren't serving their needs, poof. You're just another name they pretend they forgot. But here's the truth they don't tell you, the part they never see coming. The ghost remembers everything, and the ghost comes back. Not to beg, not to explain. No, no. The ghost returns to show them why they should have never turned their back in the first place. You think they cared about you? Ha! Open your damn eyes, kid. They cared about what you gave them. The energy, the loyalty, the endless damn patience. You were never the prize in their world. You were just the free meal ticket. The listening ear, the soft shoulder they dumped all their garbage on when they couldn't carry it anymore. You didn't walk beside them, you carried them. And when they found someone new to bleed dry, they tossed you like a worn-out pair of shoes. Don't sit there crying about it. Wipe that pain off your face. Understand it. Own it. Because once you see it for what it is, the real work starts. Not to chase them, not to beg them, but to become something they can never reach again. You hear me? You don't heal to prove to them that you're better. You heal to bury them with the weight of your success. You get up, you grit your damn teeth, and you make them remember every single second they took you for granted. Every second they doubted you. Every time they smiled at your downfall, secretly hoping you'd stay broken. You ain't broken. You're waking up. Big difference. Broken people give up. Waking people rise in silence, sharpen their claws, fix their damn crowns, and burn a path so bright even the blind ones can't ignore it. And you're about to rise so cold, so detached, so far from their reach. They'll choke on the very air you left behind. They'll hear your name in rooms they never thought you'd enter. They'll see you in faces that look nothing like you. Yet, somehow, you'll haunt every damn shadow they walk past. Because they didn't just lose a person. They lost a 1 in a million. A loyalty they could never buy back. And there's no coming back from that. No reset button. No fake apologies. No crocodile tears when they realize they burned the bridge you built with your bare, bleeding hands. You let them rot in the pit they dug for you. That's justice. That's real closure. Not a hug. Not a conversation. Silence. Silence so loud it screams every word they deserve to hear. Look at yourself. Look hard. You survived the worst they threw at you. They couldn't kill you when you were at your lowest. What the hell makes you think they could touch you now? Their betrayal wasn't the end of you. It was the beginning. It was the fuel. They lit the fire under you thinking it would destroy you, and instead, it's about to illuminate your empire. Let them laugh now. Let them pretend you're irrelevant. The same mouths laughing will stutter when your name becomes the standard they can't reach. Stay quiet. Stay cold. Let your moves be the only noise you make. No explanations. No warnings. Just results. Results so heavy they crush the lies they told about you. Results so brutal they make every fake friend and disloyal backstabber question their own worth when they see what you built without them. They'll act like they don't see you at first, pretend you don't exist, block you out, whisper behind closed doors that you've changed. Ha! Damn right you changed. They made you change. They carved the betrayal so deep into your spine that the old you bled out on the floor, and the new you had to crawl out from the ashes, half dead, half wild, but hungry. Hungry for something real. Hungry for revenge, not the petty kind, not the kind where you scream and cry and beg them to notice you. No, not that weak nonsense. I'm talking about the kind of revenge that smells like success and feels like freedom. The kind that poisons their sleep at night when they realize they turned a lion into a ghost. And now the ghost is building an empire where they're not even allowed to watch from the window. Listen to me. You don't scream when you're powerful. You don't shout when you're winning. You move like a storm nobody saw coming. You let the silence announce the slaughter. Every damn smile they faked, every damn compliment they never meant, you turn that into bricks, and you build a fortress. Not for them, not for their attention, but for yourself. A place they can't reach. A place where their existence is nothing but a joke. And you? You're the punchline they'll never get to laugh at again. They will miss you. Oh, believe me, they'll miss you. But not the way you think. Not with love. Not with warmth. They'll miss what you did for them. They'll miss the way you stayed when nobody else would. The way you answered every call, wiped every tear, fixed every mess they made. They'll miss the free therapy, the free loyalty, the free strength. And when the silence hits, when the next person they use doesn't stick around, when the emptiness howls louder than their lies, that's when your ghost drags its nails down their memory. That's when they sit up at night and realize they had a rare one, and they traded it for a cheap, easy thrill. They'll realize it too late. That's the game. That's the justice. That's the way you win. Not by going back, not by stooping to their level, but by rising so far above it, they suffocate just watching you breathe. Let them think you're gone. Let them think you broke. It's cute. It's necessary. Because when the time comes When your name is echoing in rooms they can't enter anymore. When your face is in places they can't afford to touch. When your success burns hotter than their excuses. That's when the silence ends. That's when the scoreboard lights up. That's when they remember. But by then, you're already gone. Already untouchable. Already legend. And you gotta build it now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now, you don't sit there drowning in, why did they do this to me? You already know why. You were too real, too giving, too damn loyal in a world that sells loyalty like it's a secondhand coat at a flea market. People don't value what they get for free. Remember that. And you gave yourself for free. That's over now. You charge now. You charge respect. You charge effort. You charge loyalty in return. And if they can't pay, they don't get access. Period. No discounts. No second chances. You owe it to the version of you that cried in silence, that begged in their mind for a reason not to give up, that broke down in rooms nobody saw. You owe it to that version to never be that vulnerable again to the wrong people. You owe it to them to become a nightmare dressed like a daydream, to walk into your own destiny wearing scars like armor, spitting out blood, and still smiling because you know damn well they couldn't kill you. They just upgraded you. You gotta understand something brutal. Nobody is coming to save you. Not them. Not your so-called friends. Not the ones you stayed up late talking to, fixing their messes while yours rotted in the dark. Not the ones who said always here for you and disappeared like cowards when the fire got too real. Nah, it's just you now. Just your two damn hands, your broken heart, and that cold burning fire in your chest that refuses to die. You think that's a curse? Nah, that's your power, kid. That's the part they couldn't kill. That's the part you build with. You don't need applause. You don't need an audience. You don't need a damn soul clapping for you in the cheap seats. You need one thing. Rage turned into fuel. You need sadness turned into bricks. You need betrayal turned into blueprints. Because guess what? Pity doesn't build empires. Tears don't win wars. And heartbreak sure as hell don't hand you crowns. You gotta forge it all. Forge it in silence. Forge it when nobody's looking. Forge it when it hurts so bad you think you're gonna choke on it. Because that's where legends are born. Not in comfort, not in safe places, but in the damn ruins. In the ash and the dirt and the blood of everything you used to be. You see, the real revenge ain't proving them wrong with words. Talk is cheap. They talked a lot, didn't they? Promised a lot, loved a lot, lied a lot. Words didn't mean a damn thing then, and they don't mean a damn thing now. Actions, results. That's your new language. That's your new religion. You let your moves do the preaching. You let your success throw the punches. You let your silence fill up the space they left behind. So heavy, so undeniable. They can't pretend not to notice anymore. You become the storm they can't outrun, the memory they can't erase. Every fake laugh they shared about you, turn it into motivation. Every eye roll when you talked about your dreams, turn it into fuel. Every back they turned on you, build a goddamn throne out of it. Make them regret it in ways they can't say out loud. Make them sit in rooms where your name gets praised and all they can do is fake a smile while dying inside. That's how you pay them back. Not with fights, not with screams, with distance, with domination, with the kind of glow-up that leaves them standing outside in the cold, nose pressed against the glass, wishing they hadn't thrown you away like yesterday's trash. They thought they were walking away from a doormat. They didn't know they were creating a monster, a silent one, a strategic one that doesn't beg for love anymore, doesn't crave validation anymore, doesn't fall apart when someone leaves. Nah, this version of you, this version builds, this version climbs, this version rules. And when they come crawling back, and trust me, the day will come when they do, you won't even hear the words they're saying over the sound of your own greatness. You'll look at them the same way you look at broken glass on the floor. A little sad it shattered, but smart enough not to pick it up and bleed again. Let them live with their choices. Let them drown in their regret. You don't owe them a life raft. You don't owe them closure. You owe yourself a future so bright, so ruthless, so unstoppable, that they become a footnote in your history. A forgotten paragraph in a story they helped write, but one they'll never get to read the ending of. You don't rebuild yourself to teach them a lesson. You rebuild yourself because staying broken would be letting them win twice. First, they stabbed you. Then, they watched to see if you'd bleed out and stay down. That's what people like that do. They feed off your weakness, off your collapse. They don't love you. They love the control they had over you. They love the version of you that needed them. The broken, desperate version that clung to hope even when every damn signal was screaming for you to let go. But now you starve them. You rob them of the satisfaction. You deny them the final blow. You take every shard they left in your back and you forge it into armor. Real armor. Not the kind that hides the pain, the kind that embraces it. The kind that says, yeah, I hurt. Yeah, I bled. And now I'm still standing. What the hell are you gonna do about it? You build from that. You build like your survival depends on it. Because it does. This world doesn't hand out medals for heartbreak. It doesn't reward the ones who sit and cry about being betrayed. It rewards the ones who wipe their faces, bite down on the rage, and turn into monsters so focused, so cold, so relentless. Nothing and nobody can break them again. Stop explaining yourself. Stop announcing your plans. Stop hoping for their validation. Hope is a drug, and you've been addicted long enough. Every time you hoped they'd change, every time you hoped they'd realize, Every time you thought if you just gave a little more, loved a little harder, stayed a little longer, maybe they'd see you. They saw you. They just didn't care. Let that sink in. Let it hurt. Let it carve itself into your bones. Because the second you stop hoping is the second you start building. You start moving different. You start walking into rooms like you own them, because you do. You own your pain. You own your past. You own every ugly thing they tried to use to break you. And you turn it all into power, into discipline, into silence, into a kind of presence that doesn't beg for respect. It demands it, without a word, without a warning, without a second chance given to the ones who never deserved a first. They'll try to come back, eventually. They always do, like moths to a flame they tried to put out. Too stupid to realize they only made it bigger. They'll come with soft words, with sad eyes, with cheap apologies dripping off their tongues like poison dressed as honey. They'll say they miss you. They'll say they didn't know what they had. They'll cry about bad timing and confusion and mistakes. And you'll listen. You'll smile, and you'll walk away. Not because you're cruel, not because you want revenge, but because you finally love yourself enough to understand that some people aren't meant to be forgiven. They're meant to be forgotten, left behind, like old skin, like a bad dream you don't waste daylight thinking about. Because when you level up, when you truly, ruthlessly, unapologetically level up, you don't revisit the graveyards you buried your past in. You build skyscrapers over them. You rise so far above the ashes they left you in that the only time they see you again is when they look up and realize how far below they stayed. You ever wonder why the good ones get hit the hardest? Why the ones with the purest hearts end up bleeding out in silence while the snakes keep slithering on like nothing happened? It's because good hearts are dangerous. Dangerous to people who thrive on manipulation, dangerous to people who never intended to match your loyalty, only to drain it dry. You were a mirror kid, a reflection of everything they were too weak to be. Every time you showed up for them, you reminded them of their own cowardice. Every time you stayed loyal, you exposed their betrayal. Every time you gave without keeping score, you made their greed look ugly, and they hated you for it. Hated you without even understanding why. So, they did what cowards do. They destroyed the thing that made them feel small. They killed the light they were too blind to nurture. But what they didn't realize is you were never just a light. You were a damn wildfire waiting to happen. And now you owe it to yourself to burn. Burn so bright, so fierce, that the smoke alone chokes every fake smile, every Judas handshake, every soft-spoken liar who thought you'd stay small forever. They wanted you weak. They needed you weak, because a strong you, a ruthless, focused, healed version of you, that terrifies them. And it should. You see, people don't destroy things they don't fear. They don't betray people they don't secretly envy. Your love, your loyalty, your patience, it embarrassed them, made them feel naked, made them feel judged without you saying a single damn word. That's why they picked you apart, piece by piece. That's why they smiled while you crumbled, because watching you fall made them feel taller, made them feel like maybe, just maybe, they weren't as pathetic as they knew deep down they really were. But here's the secret they forgot. Real strength don't die easy. Real hearts don't break without learning how to rebuild stronger. Every time they thought they were burying you, they were just planting you deeper into the dirt. And now you're about to grow roots so deep, 1,000 storms won't be able to move you. You don't get even with people like that. You get better. You get colder. You get sharper. You build walls so high, so thick, they can't even see you anymore. And on those walls, you carve every name, every face, every fake memory, not out of hate, but out of gratitude. Because they taught you the most brutal lesson life had to offer. Nobody is coming to save you. You are your own damn salvation. So you stop waiting for closure. You stop waiting for apologies that ain't coming. You stop explaining your side of the story to ears that never cared to listen in the first place. You go dark. You go silent. You go savage. You make your comeback so violent, so undeniable, that even your own demons step back and applaud. You work in the dark like a ghost sharpening its blade. You cut ties like a surgeon removing rotten flesh. You stop watering dead plants. You stop writing chapters with characters who were never meant to make it to the end. You become your own army, your own savior, your own damn legend. And when they see you again, and they will, believe that, it won't be because you chased them. It'll be because the world couldn't stop talking about the beast they created when they thought they broke you. It'll be because you built something so massive, so unstoppable, that even their lies couldn't drown it out. You won't have to say a word. Your existence will be the loudest revenge they never saw coming. You owe it to the broken version of yourself, the one who cried into pillows at night so no one could hear, to never let that pain be for nothing. You owe it to the silent wars you fought, to the nights you stayed awake, wondering why you weren't enough, to the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed, wearing a smile that barely held your soul together. That version of you didn't suffer just to be forgotten. Nah, that pain is currency now. You cash it in every time you level up, every time you wake up earlier, train harder, grind longer, work smarter. Every time you sharpen your mind, your body, your heart into a weapon so damn lethal that the ones who thought they buried you choke on their own insignificance. That pain, it ain't a weakness. It's your origin story. It's the fire that tempers steel. It's the agony that makes you bulletproof. Stop hiding it. Stop being ashamed of it. Wear it. Own it. Let it walk in the room before you do. Let them smell the battles on you and realize they ain't ready for the war you bring. Because you didn't survive all that just to fit back into the tiny, suffocating box they tried to keep you in. You survived to outgrow it, to tear down the walls with your bare hands and rewrite the whole damn blueprint they thought you were stuck following. Let them laugh now. Let them gossip. Let them act like you don't exist. Every time they ignore you, they're giving you a gift. They're freeing you. They're unshackling you from the need to explain yourself to people too small to understand your magnitude. Good. Let them. Because while they're busy talking, you're busy building. While they're wasting energy plotting your downfall, you're investing every breath into your rise. And trust me, their little parties, their little inside jokes, their little victories, they'll be ancient history when you come back swinging, when you come back owning the very opportunities they laughed at you for dreaming about. See, the thing about betrayal is it has a shelf life. Pain fades, scars heal, but regret festers. Regret rots people from the inside out. And by the time you're sitting at tables they can't even afford to dream about, they'll still be stuck in the same cycle, telling the same lies, making the same excuses, trapped in the same misery. That's their hell to live in. Yours is to rise above it so far. They need binoculars just to catch a glimpse of the monster they built when they broke you. You ain't in the business of revenge. You're in the business of resurrection. Resurrecting the part of you they tried to kill. The ambitious you. The fearless you. The you that doesn't take no for an answer. That doesn't lower their standards just to keep someone around. You don't compete with them anymore. Hell no. You compete with the ghost of who you were yesterday. You go to war every damn day with your own laziness, your own doubts, your own fears. Because if you beat that version of yourself, there ain't a damn thing out here that can touch you. You stay silent. You stay hungry. You stay ruthless with your dreams. Let them hear about you through whispers. Let them find out about your success when it's already too damn big to stop. That's how legends move. That's how the forgotten become unforgettable. Not by clinging to the past, not by begging for second chances, but by carving a new future out of stone and blood and sweat. A future so sharp, so unapologetic, that it cuts every fake memory, every soft regret, every ounce of weakness clean out of your path. You'll notice it sooner or later, the way they flinch when your name comes up, the way their faces tighten, their smiles flicker for just a second before they fake it again. That's fear. That's regret. That's the ghost of you haunting their peace. And the best part? You didn't have to lift a damn finger to do it. You didn't have to fight. You didn't have to argue. You just became. You became something they can't reach, can't mock, can't touch anymore. You outgrew their games, their small circles, their pitiful little kingdoms built on gossip and betrayal. And now every move you make, every win you collect, every ounce of progress you stack, it's like a hammer slamming down on their lies. No speeches, no explanations, just success, raw and brutal, slapping them across the face every damn time they pretend you didn't matter. You matter more now than you ever did when you were carrying their dead weight. And deep down, they know it. They can lie to themselves, lie to their new audience, lie to whoever's dumb enough to listen, but they can't lie to the empty hole you left behind. They feel it. They feel you, and they hate it because they know they did it to themselves. They dug the grave. They built the coffin. They lit the match. All you did was rise from the ashes and leave them gasping in your smoke. It's funny, isn't it? How they used to look at you like you were disposable, forgettable, replaceable. How they acted like your loyalty was cheap, like your love was some bottom shelf product they could toss in the trash whenever shinier toy came along. But here's the twist they never saw coming. You were the blessing. You were the rare breed. The ride or die they'll never find again, no matter how many people they run through, trying to replace you. You were the prayer answered, and they treated you like background noise, their loss, their curse to carry. Meanwhile, you turn that pain into blueprints, into plans, into quiet, surgical revenge made of success and silence. And the best part? You do it with a smile they'll never see, with a heart they'll never touch again. You don't owe them anger. You don't owe them hatred. You owe yourself greatness. You owe yourself the satisfaction of walking through doors they were too small-minded to even imagine. You owe yourself the peace that comes from knowing you survived the worst and became even more dangerous because of it. They thought breaking you would break your destiny. They didn't realize it was building it. So don't waste another second explaining yourself to the deaf. Don't waste another breath screaming into tombs where the living dead pretend to care. Your life is your message now. Your grind is your answer. Your silence is your weapon. Let your success scream so loud it echoes in every place your name gets whispered in jealousy and regret. Let your growth slap every memory of you they tried to bury. You don't go back to prove a point. You don't go back to make peace. You stay ahead. You stay cold. You stay distant. Because real loyalty, the kind you gave so freely, that doesn't come with a refund. Once they spend it wrong, it's gone. Once they break it, it's dust. And you ain't in the business of fixing broken mirrors anymore. You're in the business of building palaces with the very stones they threw at you. And when you stand at the top, cold, ruthless, untouchable. The only thing you'll hear from behind is the sound of your past choking on its own regret. Music to your damn ears. You ever wonder why they only remember you when they need something? Why the ones who vanish like smoke the second you needed a little loyalty suddenly pop up when they hear your name buzzing again? That's not love. That's not guilt. That's survival. They smell the heat coming off you now. They feel the shift in the air when you walk into a room. You're not the soft target you used to be. You're a goddamn weapon now, sharpened by betrayal, tempered by solitude, hardened by pain. And they want a piece of it, not because they deserve it, but because they can't stand the thought of you thriving without them. That's the sick truth about users. They don't want to see you dead. They want to see you dependent. They want to see you half alive, crawling, still needing their validation to breathe. But when you cut the cord, when you build a life so full, so brutal, so brilliant they can't squeeze their way back into it, that's when the mask falls off. That's when the smiles fade. That's when the truth slaps them so hard it leaves a mark they'll spend the rest of their pathetic lives trying to hide. And you won't even blink, because you'll be too busy climbing higher, too busy winning, too busy becoming everything they prayed you'd never become, unstoppable without them. It's funny how betrayal feels like the end at first. Feels like your lungs can't fill properly, like your ribs are caving in, like there's no way back from the kind of damage that tears you apart in silence while the world keeps spinning without a care. But then something shifts, deep down, deeper than the wounds, past the sadness, past the anger. A little voice starts whispering, good they left, good they lied, good they exposed themselves. Because now you're free. Free from the illusion, free from carrying dead weight that never planned to carry you, free to become something pure, something raw, something so savage and real it terrifies the cowards who thought they could destroy you and walk away untouched. See, the worst thing they ever did wasn't hurting you. It was underestimating you. Thinking you'd stay broken, thinking you'd beg, thinking you'd drown in the wreckage. They forgot that real warriors don't die in the wreckage. They rebuild from it. They forgot that some people are made of storms and scars and stubborn, furious survival. They forgot that monsters aren't born from happiness. They're crafted in silence when no one's watching. You don't owe explanations to people who gave you question marks when you needed answers. You don't owe loyalty to people who treated you like a damn option while you treated them like oxygen. And you sure as hell don't owe forgiveness to people who buried knives in your back and called it love. Let them rot in the garden they poisoned. Let them feast on the lies they planted. Meanwhile, you plant different seeds. Seeds of strength, seeds of ambition, seeds of cold, relentless focus. You water them with discipline. You shield them with silence. You grow a life so massive, so undeniable that their names don't even flicker across your mind anymore. Not in love, not in hate, in nothing. That's the ultimate revenge. Not caring at all, not remembering the birthdays, not wondering what if, not scrolling through old memories at 2 a.m., just moving, just building, just winning. So far removed from their world that you feel like a myth they once knew, but can never touch again. You become the ghost story they tell themselves at night, the one where they had something rare and destroyed it out of pure stupidity. And you don't even hear it. You're too far gone, too far above, writing your own damn legend.